Hey friends, it's Kai. Some neighbors keep secrets better than walls do. And in Lisbon, one of them left something behind. My building isn't old. It's not one of those haunted mansions you see on a hill. It's just a normal concrete block in Lisbon. 8 floors. Gray. Totally forgettable. I moved in last summer for a new job in a new city, trying my best to stumble through a new language. The only strange thing about the place was the woman in 4B. She was in her 50s, maybe older, and she always dressed in black. Not in a gothic way, just black. She didn't talk much, but she always smelled faintly of smoke and herbs, like someone was constantly burning something in a small, closed room. The very first time we shared the elevator, her eyes fixed on the necklace my mom had given me. It's just a simple silver pendant. She leaned in and said, "You should be careful with that." Her accent was heavy, maybe Eastern European. I kind of laughed it off and asked, "Why?" She glanced at the doors, as if checking that no one was listening, and then she whispered, "Some things shine too brightly. Things like that draw eyes." The doors opened and she stepped out. Her flat was 4B, mine was 4C, right next door. At first, nothing happened. I settled in, got used to the city, the trams, the hills, the late dinners. But then, at night, usually around 2 or 3 in the morning, I'd sometimes wake up to a faint sound coming through the wall. It wasn't the TV, it wasn't music, it was whispering. A woman's voice, low and fast, like a prayer being read backwards. And sometimes, there was this slow, steady knocking, not on my door, but on something wooden, over and over again. Whenever I'd creep out to check, the hallway was always empty. Her door was always closed. Then one night, I found something on my doormat. It was a small white cloth bundle, tied up with red thread. I figured it was a prank, or maybe just some trash from a craft project. But when I picked it up, it felt wrong. It was too heavy for its size, and it was warm. I took it into my kitchen and untied it. Inside was a small object wrapped in stained brown paper. I didn't open that part. Instead, I wrapped everything back up and knocked on 4B. She opened the door almost immediately, and her eyes went straight to my hands. "You should not have touched it," she said, her voice flat. I held it out to her. "Is this yours?" She took it, but not with her fingers. She scooped it up with a folded dish towel. Then she just looked at me for a long, uncomfortable moment. "You should put salt by your door tonight," she said, "and don't sleep with that necklace on." I was too surprised to argue. When she shut the door, I actually laughed. I even took a selfie and posted it with the caption, "My neighbor thinks I'm in a horror movie." That night, I woke up gasping for air. My room was pitch black. My phone was face down, no light from anywhere, but I could hear something. It sounded like nails dragging along the wall right behind my headboard. Slow, scratching. Then the sound moved. It crawled across the ceiling, right over me. I was completely frozen. The air got thick and hot, like standing too close to an open oven. And then there was a whisper, right above me. It wasn't in Portuguese, not in English, not in any language I knew. Something pressed down on the mattress, near my feet. I didn't look. I couldn't. All I could do was count my breaths and pray I wasn't making any sound. After what felt like an eternity, it stopped. The room cooled down. When I finally found the courage to turn on my bedside lamp, I saw faint hairline cracks in the plaster above my bed that definitely hadn't been there before. The next morning, there was a neat white line of salt drawn along the threshold of my doormat. I hadn't put it there. When I looked over, the door to 4B was open just a crack. She was inside, lighting a small bowl of something that smoked black instead of white. "Step over it," she said. "Don't break it." I did what she said. "Did you have bad dreams?" she asked. I didn't answer her, which I guess was an answer in itself. She just nodded. "It noticed you," she said. "You were shining. Something followed you home." I wanted to tell her that was ridiculous, that things don't just follow people home. This is Lisbon, not some medieval village. But then she showed me her arm. There were 3 long, pale scars, like fingers had once burned her skin. "Don't be proud," she said quietly. "Pride is how it gets in." That weekend, I stayed at a friend's place across town. We went out. We drank. We talked about anything and everything except my strange neighbor. And I slept fine. No scratching, no whispers. When I came back on Sunday night, the building felt quieter. There was no light under 4B's door. On Monday morning, there were two men outside the building, arguing in fast Portuguese next to an ambulance parked by the curb. My landlord told me later, in careful English, that the woman in 4B had passed away in her sleep. They found her sitting in a chair with a bowl of burned herbs in her lap. The windows were shut tight, and the smoke detector had been ripped off the ceiling. In the corner of her room, on the wall that we shared, the plaster was blackened in the shape of a hand. That night, I slept with all the lights on. At exactly 2:47 a.m., my bedroom door moved. Just a little. As if someone had pushed it with a single finger. Something brushed under the crack. When I finally got out of bed to look, there was a thin white line of salt running along my side of the wall. There were no footprints, no sign of who put it there. And on my bedside table, my necklace was lying next to my phone. I was sure I'd left it in the bathroom. I don't burn herbs, I don't chant ancient prayers, I still live in 4C. The flat next door is empty for now. But sometimes, around 3 in the morning, I hear that faint scratching in the wall. Like something is trying to remember the way through. When that happens, I run my finger along the crack where the plaster darkened last year. The color never completely faded. I tell myself this is just an old building, that it's bad wiring or mice. But I never forget what she said. Some things shine too brightly. Things like that draw eyes. So now, before I go to sleep, I take off my necklace, and without telling anyone, I keep a small bowl of salt by the door, just in case she was right. Have you ever heard something you just can't explain? I'm fascinated by these unexplained auditory experiences, those phantom sounds that have no logical source. What's your story? If you've ever heard something that defies explanation, I genuinely want to know. Tell me in the comments what you heard and what you think it might have been. Thanks for watching, and if you want to hear more stories like this, make sure to follow and subscribe.